What's up, traders? So today I'm going to show you why I think that Intel may have hit a bottom and why I think that millionaires are now buying the stock. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Rashad. I'm a full-time options trader, bringing in multiple six figures a year, and I use the premium that I make from options in order to pay for my entire life. But enough about me, let's get down to business. So a little bit about Intel. It's one of the world's largest semiconductor companies and primary supplier of microprocessors and chipsets. It's gradually moving into data-centric businesses such as AI and autonomous driving. And we can see here it currently has a market cap of $96 billion, bringing in roughly $54 billion annually. And right now it has a price to free cash flow of 8. Now that simply means that they are trading very cheap compared to what their cash flow is. And there's multiple reasons for that. Intel has fallen way behind in the race for AI chips. They were once the leader in chips, but they have allowed for companies such as Nvidia and AMD to outdo them. So now they're essentially playing catch up. And on top of that, they're out building huge factories, which is in the short term taking their expenses up. Meanwhile, their revenue and income has not been increasing. And then lastly, they have recently cut their dividends, which investors hate. And because of all of those factors, Intel stock has been going down by quite a bit. If we look here at the charts, we can see it hit as high as, $51 in December of 2023, and then went as low as $18 just in September of 2024. So this stock has been getting punished for this entire year. And we can see as of recently over the last month, it has started to rebound just a little bit. It's currently at $22, but let me show you why I think that it may have hit a recent bottom. So I ran into this article on Bar Chart. It's titled Intel Corp stock may have bottomed, attracting unusual call options activity in INTC today. So it starts off saying Intel Corporation may have bottomed out. Investors in long-dated call options today may have concluded this, resulting in unusual options volume. They may believe that Intel is worth substantially more. So as soon as I saw this article, I wanted to look up the details of this for myself, and so that is exactly what I did. So I came over to the unusual stock options activity page, and you can see unusual options activity identifies options contracts that are trading at a higher volume relative to the contract's open interest. Unusual options can provide insight on what smart money is doing with large volume orders, signaling new positions and potentially a big move in the security. So I looked up the date, October 16th, that the article mentioned, and it was 100% correct. If we look down at the $25 strike and the $30 strike for February 21st of 2025, there was 7,789 contracts traded for the $25 strike and 7,856 contracts traded for the $30 strike. And the fact that Intel stock price is currently $22 and both of these strikes are far out of the money, that would lead me to believe that they believe that the stock price is going to increase greatly here over the next 4 months. And typically these large hedge funds have access to information that us regular people don't. And quite interestingly, Intel has earnings coming up here soon, and then they'll have another earnings in late January or late February prior to the end of these contracts. So I looked at that information, but then secondly, I wanted to look at the analyst ratings. And you can see here that most analysts currently have it at a hold. However, as far as their price targets, they have a high target of 66 and a mean target of $29, which is pretty close to that $25 and $30 strike that we mentioned before. So now that I have this information, well, how would I trade it? Well, there's a few things I could do. I could just copy the exact same trades from the hedge funds. However, I like to be a little more cautious when it comes to trades like these. So instead of buying far out of the money calls for 4 months out, I would rather sell puts so that I have some downside protection. Now, for those new to options, selling a put is essentially agreeing to buy a stock at a lower price than what it's trading for today. And for agreeing to do that, you receive money up front. But by selling puts, you can receive reliable and consistent income over and over and over again. So how would I sell puts on this company? But wait. What if you can make money while on vacation, while spending time with your family without constantly worrying about bills? What if you can make the money for your entire vacation while on vacation? I personally trade options full-time and generate multiple six figures per year, enough to comfortably provide for my wife and 6 kids, and our multiple vacations per year. In Trade to Freedom, I'll show you how to create passive income streams that keep paying even when you're not working. You'll get my exact trades as soon as I answer them. Imagine being able to take that trip you've always been dreaming of, knowing that your money is still working for you. The link is in the description below. I'll see you in the community. The first thing I like to look at is the Bollinger Bands. So if you're not familiar with Bollinger Bands, there are these technical indicators here. And essentially Bollinger Bands show you the range that a stock should trade in. And you can see here that this bottom line says $16.56. and the top line says $31. So there is a 95% chance that Intel's stock price stays in between those two numbers. Now, secondly, I like to look at what is the expected move for the stock. Now, when I sell puts, I like to go to a max of 45 days out. So let's select an expiration that is close to 45 days. And we can see here that November 29th is 41 days from now. And the expected move is 14% from the price that it is right here today. So that would put us at a high of $25.98 or a low of $19.56. So now that we know that information, let's head over to Intel's options chain and select a strike for us to pick. All right, so now I'm here at Intel's options chain, and we said that we were going to select the expiration of November 29th. So let me select that expiration. And if we scroll down to the puts, now the last thing that I look at is the delta. So delta is the probability that the event occurs. So if we come over here, this column is the delta column. So if we see here, this strike of $21 has a delta of 0.30. That means there is a 30% chance that Intel's stock drops to that $21 strike by that expiration date. And for me personally, I like to pick deltas between 0.10 and 0.20. So that means there's a 10 to 20% chance that Intel stock hits my strike price by the expiration date. Or in other words, I have an 80 to 90% probability of profit. All right, and so I would come down here and the highest I would go was 0.20 delta. So it looks like I would have to stop at $19.50, which is perfect because the expected move at the low end was $19.56. So I will select this $19.50 strike. And for doing so, I will be paid 62 cents, which we times by 100 because every options contract is worth 100 shares. I will receive $62 up front right here, right now, as soon as I open the trade. And so since my strike is at $19.50, as long as Intel's stock price stays above $19.50, which is currently at $22 right now. So as long as it stays above $19.50 by my expiration date, I just go about my day with my $62 that I made, and I can continuously sell puts over and over and over and over again. However, if Intel's price would drop below $19.50, well, then I need to buy 100 shares of the company per contract. However, I still get to keep the $62 that I was paid. And for me, this sounds like a safe bet. If we have these hedge fund owners and these millionaires that are buying far out of the money call options because they think it's going to go up, I can do this trade and it gives me that margin of error just in case they're wrong. And I get to buy a company that is already cheap for an even cheaper price than what it's trading for today. But that's how I would trade Intel. Let me know if you're trading Intel down in the comments. And if you like this information and want to learn more from me, come join the Trade to Freedom community, get my exact trades in real time, and learn my entire options framework. This stuff here is just touching the surface. There's so much more to it. But I hope to see you guys soon. I'll see you in the next video for sure. Peace.